Hello and welcome again to another top 5. This is singled out video. Today we are looking at the top 5 heavy infantry in Infinity. First of all, I want to thank everyone for their lovely feedback. Just to let you all know again, my team of top scientists have gone through their lab work and checked their working again, and they've also gone on to my Patreon feed. I've got a Patreon feed. And to back up their claims on how accurate my top 5 is, they've also gone onto the internet and worked out a top 5 information sources about Infinity, and you'll see we are definitely number 5. So, with that, now for some honourable mentions. First of all, we have Achilles. Now, this is bound to get some flames. Really? Yes. Why is that? Basically because I want to do a top 5 for top 5 characters, and I don't want him to be in 2 top 5s at once, because otherwise not having him in a top 5 would be crazy. So there we are, that's why. The same goes for Joan of Arc. I really like her, but again, she's a character, so I will talk about her later on. Finally, we have the Ratnik. Here's a honourable mention, mainly because I love the model, I love the sculpt, I play Ariadne and Tak, and I don't think it would make a top 5, and I mean, look at it, it's just great, isn't it? First up, we have number 5, the veteran Kazakh. He is non-hackable, which is pretty rare for heavy infantry. He has a good strong BS. I think 13 is the absolute minimum you'd want to go for a heavy infantry model. He has good weapon options. Armor-piercing heavy machine gun is probably the most common one. Also, he has mimetism, which gives him more survivability, and lots of fire team options. Being able to appear as a wildcard in most fire teams really raises his pick rate. Also, he has access to an X-Visor, which is a superb bit of kit, of course, making him way more accurate at different range bands. Finally, he has Sixth Sense, so it's hard to shoot him from behind, so he can be on the flank and be less scared of a parachutist or so on coming to get him. That's assuming, of course, he isn't in a core link team, which he might be, but maybe the calling team has lost some people and has lost their Sixth Sense bonus, or is operating in a Harris. Next we have number 4. Coming up is the Hessian Warrior. He has superb BS. BS 14 is absolutely stonking. He can see you with MSV2, so he can shoot through smoke, which is always great. He can ignore mimetism -6, so that BS is often going to stay where it is. He has very strong weapon options there, having access, of course, to the always useful heavy machine gun, and also quite a tasty little nanopulsar there with +1 burst. Next we have number 3, the Riot Girls. Or is it Riot Girls? Or Girls? I'm not sure. It's got many R's in it. Approximately 14 R's in it. Anyway, they have many great flexible fighting options. They can have many different configurations of units to be in. They can dodge bullets. They have a superb dodge ability. Their dodge of 16 is absolutely stonking, so if they get caught at a bad range band, they have a pretty good defensive option there, which makes up for their armour, which is a bit less than some heavy infantry models. Their tin bot gives them a great willpower defence against hacking attempts, so a -6 really makes them less vulnerable to some of the more common ways to deal with heavy infantry other than just shoot them in the head with a big gun. And they also have MSV1, so they can ignore mimetism -3, which is pretty common, making their BS quite commonly kept at that level. Number 2, we have the Karakuri Special Project. These things give me the creeps a little bit, to be honest. That isn't a bonus, it's just one of those things. First of all, they have Structure 3 with Remote Presence, so they have 3 wounds, and when they get taken unconscious, they have a bonus level of unconscious before they actually are killed, so they are incredibly hard to take out. That is compounded by the fact that they have total immunity. That means they can shrug off armor-piercing shots, double action, explosive, armor-piercing, anything fancy counts against them as a normal shot, so they are very hard to shift. None of the options cost any SWC. They haven't got some of the bigger guns, but that really makes them easy to fit into a list, and they can self-repair with a Gizmokit. Not a great physical to roll against it, but it's an option, and so they are very hard to shift indeed. Also, they are forward observers, so they are often specialists for many missions. Finally, number 1, the Yanho Invincibles. First of all, I've got to say it has the hyper magnetic rail cannon, a gun that I criminally missed off the top 5 from my last video. It is a superb gun. It has different fire modes. It can kill infantry, it can kill heavier things, and also probably got the best name in all of Infinity. Likewise, it has bioimmunity. That means it can choose which safe to roll against, so that armour and BTS, it can choose which one it uses, so I guess normally armour 5. That's pretty tasty. It has missiles with either +1 burst or neurokinetics, making its single shot missile launcher, 2 shots, because that's how numbers work, making it a great piece for staying at the backfield and shooting things with missiles. And finally, it has the hyper magnetic rail cannon. I've mentioned it already, but it was so good, I thought I'll mention it twice. And there we go, another top 5 that literally one person asked for. Now remember, if you're unsure about this, please go into the comments and tell me why I'm wrong. But bear in mind, this is completely definitive. It's been researched to the absolute height of science. If you liked it and you're part of the 25% or so who are still at the end of the video, please can you listen to my podcasts? You'll see links on the screen and in the show notes underneath this video. Also, I've got a Patreon. Thanks to everyone who's given money to me and supported me over the years. The support of the community has always been great, so thanks for that. And there we are. Thank you and goodbye.